People are getting sick and tired of crypto pump and dumps. Now the B token went up massively. Is this yet another pump and subsequent dump? Let's have a look at the on-chain data to try to figure out how consistent this rally is, what's behind this rally, who's buying, who's selling here, how much longer could beat rise, or is it going to crash from here? This is the top 100 cryptocurrencies in the last month, and beat has appreciated by almost 900%. And please don't follow the bullshit news. This is not a golden cup and handle formation where suddenly the token had to rise from here. Sorry, Sahana Vebute, I hope I pronounced his name correctly. This is not the way to make money in crypto. Hi, my name is Gerhard. I've been in the crypto space for 8 years. I hit my first million 3 years ago, and it is mainly through active trading, buying and selling altcoins, but also timing the crypto market in general. My track record is in the link down below. I started publishing my trades in real time 2 years ago. And this is how it looks like over time. On average, I made more than 5% per trade. That's over 170 trades. On average, I held those positions for 27 days. And here is every single trade. I don't think that many people on YouTube are willing to be that transparent. Maybe because they aren't long-term winning traders, especially when the market in general is suffering. Now here's the thing. I've already published a video on Beat half a year ago. At the time, we were at $2.45. Now we are at $5.24. But this was not a journey of smooth appreciation over those 6 months. Have a look at this. The 1 year chart. We pumped and dumped, and now we are pumping again. Since Audiera is an inflating cryptocurrency, the market cap is now 3 times higher compared to that pump half a year ago. Is a market cap of 1.5 billion justifiable? I let you be the judge. When you go to the website, you have zero access to anything on desktop. You have to access the website via a mobile browser. I don't know many platforms that only work on mobile, where they completely block you on desktop. And there are already very critical voices on X. A new crime created by the centralized exchanges. Beat is up 750% in 30 days. Some call it a scam coin, but Audiera is advertising a World Cup challenge, a prize pool of $5,000. Now just compare those magnitudes, right? $5,000 of a prize pool for a project that apparently has 1.5 billion worth of market cap. It does feel a bit fishy. By the way, if you are on X and you're not yet following me there, feel free to add me. So the handle is Bitcoin Strat. Make sure you follow that exact handle and not somebody that's copying my identity. I publish content not just on crypto, but also on investing in general. How to outperform the market long term. Now, I already said that the B token is inflating over time, as in the supply grows over time. And that's probably one of the reasons why after the prior pump, we subsequently saw a dump. Now, how much more inflation do we have? What do the tokenomics say? Now, here are the numbers in the documentation, not very user friendly, but that's why we've got AI. Here is the circulating supply over time. We are currently over here at roughly 300 million. And 1 year from now, we will be over here. A growth rate of almost 80%. Here are the exact numbers, 280 million to 501 million, to then subsequently 706 million, etc. You see, this is a project that needs a lot of demand just to keep its price stable. Now here's the B token price over time measured in US dollars. And again, we have hit a new all-time high. We do have positive momentum. We also hit a new all-time high relative to the other altcoins. That's now the B token divided by others. That's all the altcoins that are not in the top 10. Beat also outperformed Bitcoin. But where is all of this outperformance coming from? I think we are facing a lot of leverage again. On the spot market, we only had 30 million worth of trading volume in the last 24 hours. But on the perpetual futures market, we had more than 500 million worth of trading volume. So really, there is a lot of inherent leverage in the price. People are betting on the B token. And with a rally like this, there are a lot of liquidations, especially on the short side. Now, what does this mean? I think many people were very skeptical of the B token, and they were betting on falling prices, especially after the recent pump and dump. So they thought that the dump continues indefinitely. They continued to bet on falling prices, probably not setting a stop loss in the right manner. And then the market makers saw all of those orders, bought up the BEAT token and thus forced liquidate everybody that was betting on falling prices without a stop loss. Think about it this way. You are a casino or you are a sports betting house and you allow people to just bet on team A or team B. Either A or B wins. Now you see that many people are betting on team A. So you as a sports betting house just take the counter position to have somewhat balanced odds. You are betting on team B winning. Now here's the catch. The sports betting house now bribes the referee. The sports betting house has influence on the outcome of the game. That's exactly what's happening here with crypto. A lot of retail investors were betting on falling prices and then the market makers took the opposite position and then they bought up the token in order to make exactly their position make money. And all the others, they're losing money. That's called a short squeeze. Now have a look at this. This is the open interest, the amounts of bets that are currently being placed on the BEAT token. That's close to 300 million now. And we can see how the BEAT price is highly correlated with that open interest. So when there are less people betting on the token, that also means that the price goes down. When there are more people betting on the token, that's when the price is going up. The trading volume right now is not yet as elevated as it was during the prior pump and dump. But at some point, this will of course come down again. Is there still some more upside? Yes, potentially. The market isn't yet as heated as it used to be. Now, I always try to find trading approaches that historically worked well for an asset. And I've done the same for the Audiera token. So we are looking for the best golden and death crosses, and pretty much every strategy completely destroyed our capital except a few ones over here. The best combination of moving averages for this token is the 7-day and the 9-day simple moving average. This is how well that worked over time. So buying and holding Audiera is this line in gray. Our portfolio line is the line in blue. And at the bottom, we see our portfolio measured in Audiera tokens. So this is how that looks like on a live chart at the moment. We are currently bullish. The 7-day SMA is above the 9-day SMA. But once we get the death cross here, this can very quickly turn around again, as it did in the past, right? We had a death cross here on the 28th of December, and subsequently the price just got hammered indefinitely. So this is a momentum game. At some point, the attention will move to the next token, and especially when the death cross happens, we want to be out of Audiera. That's when the bloodbath happens. We only want to be in the token when momentum is positive, when the 7-day SMA is above the 9-day SMA. And again, right now, momentum is still positive, but it's important to watch this. That's the kind of approach I use for pretty much any altcoin trade. I don't just look at the situation today. I try to instead determine trading rules that historically worked well in the past. And then I just apply those trading rules for the future, and they tend to work. That's where this track record is coming from. Now here in orange, that's the positions we've currently open. So we did make money with this recent crash. The positions are here blurred out because that's for the premium members. That's not for the public YouTube. But again, every single trade here can be 100% verified. So for example, let's look at a recent trade. Let's say here we shorted BitTensor Tau. I opened the short here. I closed it over here. Then there is the related messages. You can also get those messages via email if you don't use Telegram. We looked for the death cross, the same kind of signal that we are now looking for in Audiera. It's very dangerous to just short after a rally like this, because very often a secondary rally happens again. Because if enough people short during such times, the market makers just buy up the token again. So you have to wait until attention moves on when we get the actual death cross. And then subsequently, we are closing when the moving averages cross again. And so this is what we do regularly. That's why the performance looks the way it does. By the way, if you're not interested in manually trading yourself, there's also an automatic copy trading vault. Last year that made 44% annualized. Right now we are at 25.5%. I'm trying to reach the 44% again. The trend is in our favor. Again, the market overall crashed. We continue to slowly appreciate. For the automatic copy trading though, you need to be part of the annual membership. So I recommend to just try it out yourself first. You can just join monthly. There's also a 7-day money back guarantee. You can make your first money. I will share my favorite trade with you. Just enter that. Once you made some profit with it, you can, if you decide to do so, reinvest that into the annual membership. Then you also get a bit of a discount versus paying monthly. So yeah, I do believe that the B token is yet another pump and dump. The price will come down simply because of the tokenomics as well. That does not mean that the price has to deflate in the short term. The momentum is still bullish. We have not yet seen our death cross, and that's historically what we want to see, right? The cross of the 7-day versus 9-day simple moving average. If it's your first time here, feel free to subscribe. I publish here regularly. A like would be very much appreciated as well. It helps the channel grow. See you next time on YouTube or see you in premium. Link to that pops up here on the screen as well. See you next time. Cheers.